Hi, hello, hi. Well, this is a game I didn't expect to be playing all of a sudden. I had a different game plan for my next stream, but I saw this game was out now. I'm like, you know what? Let's play. Let's play it because didn't expect this. So yeah, new Stanley. Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe is here. Has new content and stuff. Stanley began to watch the stream. Hi, how's it going? Welcome. Good to see ya. Okay. There's like a new record from stream start to me unmuting and getting ready. But let's... Hold on. Stanley. I don't even have VC face up yet. Hold on. Let me fix that real quick. I was like, oh, Stanley's done? Install. Start stream. Okay, now VC face needs to open first, please. Very scuffed opening, because I gotta play Stanley. You gotta. Stanley time. Any minute now. There we go. Hi. How's it going, guys? Stanley game time. But Stanley. It is here. Stanley. Screen subtitle language. Have I played the Stanley Parable before? I sure have. For the sake of Twitch and such, and the VOD, I'll put up a bit higher. Enter the current time. It is almost exactly 3 p.m. for me. So I'll just put that. Accessibility settings, that's good. Oh boy, oh boy. Well, first off, that's not... Oh. There we go. Wasn't working for a second. Jump. I didn't know we could jump. Alright. Starts with borderless by default. Thank you very much. Good options for resolution. That should be good. Field of view. I believe 90 is what I usually go for. Yeah, I can walk just fine. No control vibration. Don't want that. Oh boy, yeah, this was part of Stanley. Yeah, okay. Anyway, let's begin the frickin' game already. Oh boy.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Yes, sure is.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh boy. Okay, 90 is not... I thought it was 90 that usually is. Default, it was 72 or something. I forget numbers sometimes. Oh boy, Stanley. Back to this again.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility?
Yeah.
He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait.
The chair's no collision.
Hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever.
Look at these textures.
Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Now return off the game, wait 5 years? Yeah. Alright. Now actually play the game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, just got an achievement that says, you can't jump. Nice. Is there a way that we can get up here? Because I know that was... Wait. Yes. Thank you. We're in here now.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map.
Yep.
Until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't
Pretty
this
good.
a fun and unique place to be?
Yeah.
Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now.
No.
What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Ah, then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first
Why is my
place.
mouth doing that thing?
Now, think about it. Would it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other
Hello?
option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Cool. I can't even select yes now. Well, I guess we should play the game normally. And actually get on with it and not do the silly endings.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Listen to all the narration of that voice. Yeah, very, very distinct voice. Very nice to listen to.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered
Oh,
the door
man.
on his left.
This is an important decision, guys. Do we go left like the narrator says, or go right? I think we should go left. Let's listen to him. If we must, I guess.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
We're Broke Wednesday. Mergers. Office party? This box is too small. Employee. Jim. That's not a number. Man. Yes, this is the best ending.
The broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Best ending right here. Let's do it.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet.
Yeah?
No reason to still be here.
No, there's a reason.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet.
Is it?
He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way.
No, I just want to be in the broom closet.
He was literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Nice.
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Yeah?
Standing around doing nothing? Why?
It's a nice closet.
Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a nice closet. I'm gonna stay here for a while.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
It's me, Stanley. The
Maybe
PS5 inside your head.
Its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is.
Wow.
Drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Nice. Go Stanley.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
No, I'm not.
Got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical melody of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard.
Dead.
Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose.
Can't believe I'm dead, guys.
Anyone who happens to be nearby, the person at this computer is dead.
You heard it. I'm
They've
dead.
fallen prey
Sorry.
to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Yeah, Stanley's supporting sex workers, yeah. Well, the narrator stopped. What do we do? There's new content. There might be an actual ending for this. We don't know.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
You sure?
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids.
Jesus.
Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to.
Any?
The fish,
Any monkey? No?
fungus?
Oh.
You can hammer out the details.
It did
I'm
not like
particularly
that.
picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Monkey time. Can I go back in? No. I think, sadly, that's it.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
You know, let's go the, let's do what he asks. Executive bathrooms. Money crisp. Can't use the toilet. Come on, what is this? Oh, you know what we can try? What if this game... Oh? Dinner strategy. Love that. That's still here. Hmm? Hey, that's new. But first, I gotta try this. 'Cause this never worked in the original game.
Stepping in.
Yup. Let's see if this actually works. They must have done it, right? This is Ultra Deluxe. They must have done something with this now. Because when you did this in the original game, it crashed at the end. But I wonder... Hey, 413. I wonder if we can actually get a proper ending this time. TikTok. Ah, that door's open now. Oh. Okay. We're now leaving. Escape pod bay. Let's go. I like how the interact noise is just... Wait a minute. The interact noise is just keyboard press. I don't know if it was like that in the original, because, you know, Source Engine. Yeah, this is just the same. Whoa. Well, this number's going up at least. Suspicious. Escape pod launch bay. Let's go. Here we go. Let's see what this does. Oh. That still doesn't work, huh? I mean, it probably worked, but... Still can't. Still can't. Well, I tried.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Dang it.
What could it mean?
Oh, well.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, now we gotta try that elevator, because that elevator, I'm like 99% sure is new.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Nice place. Ah, yes.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, now let's try this room and the new elevator. I don't know why we have that strange reticle now. Once we go up. Actually, I'm not 99% sure this one's new. I think... You know what? I don't think this is new. I think this just puts you right back to where you were. I'm pretty sure, actually. My memories... Like I said, I kind of remember this game, for the most part. Hmm? Yeah, that's what I figured. If we go down, though. Okay, yeah. I was wondering whether or not that was new or not, and I assumed it was, but then I remembered it wasn't. Is there gonna be something in here someday? There are 2 glasses of water next to here for some reason. There are 3! 3 glasses of water in here. Why? Okay, now let's actually do this.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation.
What do I do?
His attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number, 2845.
Got the 8 achievement.
Of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
8. Guys, we're getting the 8 ending. Did you know the octopi have 8 tentacles?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized
I don't know much about octopi, but that's all I know. I wouldn't know at all.
As though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the
8.
nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Let's do it.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Television.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I wonder.
Now the monitors jumped to life. Their true nature.
104 was fired. Oh
Saw
no.
the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
427. Let's take a look at it. That is my office, and it's empty because I'm here. All the others are empty too.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
Never.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Now let's just go ahead and do anything where we just follow what he says. Oh god, that was a bit loud. Did we do it?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Was it?
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
Doesn't matter.
As sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know.
This is pretty.
It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Well, heck, I guess I did.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
He was happy. We did it. We beat the game. That's it. We can go home now. Hey, got the beat the game achievement. But guess what? We're back.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to it. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
Yes, give me the achievement.
The door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No.
I pressed the 8 button a lot. You gave me achievement for it.
A measly 5 clicks.
Yeah.
Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes,
fine.
Most certainly 50 clicks.
Oh god, the Skyrim intro would have been good.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley.
Squinting at you.
A willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417, 20 clicks. Okay, let me find it. 420. Nice.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437. Is that in here?
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Let's go. We're getting this achievement, boys. We're doing it. We're making this happen.
Now, back to door number 437.
Oh boy, sure. Let's do it. Here we go.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine. All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Oh boy. I haven't actually checked the whole achievements list. Wait, 417, right?
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Wait, input.
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Let's do it.
We've almost got it! Now the copy
Oh, we
machine,
got
do
it!
That one again!
We've almost got it! Oh boy.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back.
We did it.
I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
What were they thinking?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
All right, let's go through the motions then. Get the other endings. That were on this
Yet there
path.
was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Oh man!
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's
Game?
office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Game. Give me my broom closet ending. Ah.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
There's gonna be something in here one of these times. That wasn't the same thing earlier.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Yeah?
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Ah, this is nice. That's so music.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Okie dokie. Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control
No,
Facility.
not this time.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Television.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I sure do have the strength to find out. Let's do this thing.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own...
Nope. Hold on. Just need to... reset some stuff real quick. There we go.
Life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Or would it?
Or he. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Uh-oh.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Oh no!
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes.
Oh my god.
Now, this is making things a little more
Run!
isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
Hurry.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated.
4.
All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better.
I'm pressing 3 though.
Goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it on?
I'm trying.
I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won?
Yes.
Sold? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
No.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown.
Aw, man.
Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count.
I'm trying my
It's
best.
all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Rip. Well, we tried. Well, let's try that escape
All of
ending
its
then.
coworkers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Guys? Do we... New content?
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
What does it mean? What does it mean? Tell us, narrator, what does new content mean? Let's see it. New content.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Guys.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on
Oh my
home
god. Ugh.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
My god.
Reimagining of
2013.
home computers.
Ugh.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh man.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Me too. Oh boy, what is it? What's it gonna be, guys?
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Boy, I do sure wonder.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content.
Let's see it.
I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
New content. Guys. That's what I've been waiting for.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give
Let's
me the
see it.
content, Stanley.
Let's see it. Yep, give me content. Let's see it.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh! We can jump! Oh my god. We can jump in this game now. It's amazing. New content, guys. Oh. That's all the jumps we can do in this new content, I guess. Huh?
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Let's take a look.
Goodness. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive.
What are you talking about? I like it.
Elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
Yeah.
If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's
Would
2
you?
hours of new content right there.
Yes, please.
I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box.
Do it.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good.
Very good.
I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it
Oh,
is.
Bombless Pit. Love that in The Office.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore."
It actually does.
What quality
True.
assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid.
Dang
It
it.
could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Let's do it. Very content with the new content. Me too. Look at that. That was great. But,
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent.
What if
I
I
want to
don't,
show
though?
you something.
what if I do? Fine. What's in here, narrator? Coffee nut. Oh my god. What's in here, narrator? Show me. What is this?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it
Yeah.
got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
What is this?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want.
My god.
Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Amazing. Look at this. The memory zone. The memory zone. Look at this.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October...
Wait, what language is this?
When the game originally launched. Back then, video games...
I don't know what
had
language that
integrity.
is.
Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Ooh, Audience Award. British Academy of Film and Television Arts. Stanley Parable. Good times. Yeah. 2013. Stanley Parable. Oh, look at this. This is lovely. Buy it on Steam, yeah. My first dollar! Always got to put your first dollar on display. The demo. Yes! There's the achievement. Don't play for 5 years. Oh, and unachievable too. Man. Nominee. Game innovation. Debut game. Story. $50% off designer hat, but a small creature owns the other half. Oh. I'll take it. I'll take that deal. Do I get to meet the small creature, though? Oh, there's dead Stanley. Spoilers. Little Stanley. Oh, no. Oh, little Stanley. Oh. Who? What? Huh? Hello?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley?
My God.
Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Man. The cameo they tweeted 10 minutes before I went live. Yeah, I saw the tweet from James Stephanie Sterling, and they mentioned that. I'm like, oh, cool. Why are they randomly tweeting about Stanley Parable, though? Because I didn't, that was the only, I didn't know this game was coming out today. Look, there's the Minecraft area. Oh, man, look at this. This is great. Look at this. The set of 2 open doors. Yeah, the original remake, yeah. Is this the hammer editor? I don't know. Oh, if we go down here, though. Maintenance. Oh, man. Car. Wow. Top 10 memories in Stanley Parable 2013. I remember. Is this a loss? God.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect.
The good,
It
the
didn't
bad.
need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone.
Yeah.
To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of the
Source
dark
SDK. Look at that.
memories.
Repeatable carpet textures. Whoa. Oh, we're going back in here? Okay.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
Uh-oh.
What's this? What's down here?
But, uh-oh.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews on Steam.
No!
Online video game distributor.
Oh,
I
no!
haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's being collected.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh,
Surely
no.
these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh. Oh, no. The... No!
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious.
That's a good icon, though. It's the bug.
With his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert.
Yeah, we can't read
into
this
the
recommend
Stanley
review.
Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Oh, man. Jeez. I mean, this looks really pretty, and it's raining. It's not like rain. I like rain, so I enjoy this new content. Man, I'd love to, like, no-clip and go around these maps at some point. Ah, look at these. Here we go.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Well, Sterling gave you a good review. Sorry.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Look, it's the skip button. What if I go around the back here? Oh, there's nothing here. Beat you to a Sterling joke.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this.
the story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back.
We skipped down the skip button, you better believe it. This is new content. We gotta enjoy the new content.
Until so much more than forever ago, which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you. And therefore, by becoming it is.
Oh, it's literally repeating.
Until
It's literally repeating now.
Until the end of time.
Alright.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver.
It was literally repeating then, so.
Full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices. And that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time.
Makes sense to me.
By virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto. But now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise.
Schrodinger's
I
choice.
think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation. And I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise.
Manifesto's done with great connotations to it.
Treatise,
Look,
manifesto.
the narrator has good ideas.
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the written review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation.
Gabe, get on it.
I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game.
Valve implementing a new feature.
From the ashes of depravity
What?
rises
From the
quality. How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe? Such a revolutionary step forward in the lineage of one of the most beloved video game properties of all time, the additions and changes made to this expansion will surely resonate in the annals of the history of all media ever made. It is perhaps true to say that no mistakes are forever etched in stone, for the stone into which the Stanley Parable was carved has itself been transmuted, offering a message of hope to those who have ever erred in their judgment. You are not beyond redemption. You may change, and you may become more, so much more than you were before. If there is any message to be taken from the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, it is this. What a fortune, a privilege, a joy it is to have had such an experience. It leaves me hopeful that as a community, as a world, there is time for us.
It irritates me that the ticking is not in time with the second hand.
Most ambitious visions for a brighter future. Wow. Now, Stanley, that's a review.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's the perfect review. It's the review I've always dreamed of receiving. I have to read it again.
Uh-oh.
It's simply too wonderful. I have to experience this just one more time. From the ashes.
from the remix.
How else? Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer.
Uh-oh.
That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes.
Oh, God.
Unendurable by any means, but there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been
What if
and we can say goodbye.
Someone does wait like 45 minutes?
How do we get out of here? Where did the door go?
Uh-oh.
Was there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place?
Uh-oh.
I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole?
No?
A sufficiently large crack in the wall?
Mm-mm.
I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button.
Step away, huh?
Anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go?
Kool-Aid Man in the room. Yeah!
Ram your way through a wall?
Exactly!
Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is
Let's
done
go.
for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall.
This is like...
But I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button.
Poison for
Please.
Cusco. Cusco made poison specifically for him.
Wait here.
The poison that Cusco will drink. Cusco's poison.
Don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes. Good. I'll be right back.
Lex Luthor stole 40 cakes. That's as many as 4 10s, and that's terrible. Well, we gotta wait for him. Okay, it's slightly more... Okay, now it is actually timing with the second hand better. Why? Huh? Why did it change? Now, it's more in sync now. It wasn't before. Now I'm going crazy.
Stanley! Stanley!
What?
Stanley,
Hi,
please
what?
don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Yeah? Did you find a door?
You've just been frozen there.
But did you...
I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer.
Did you find a door, though?
Way out of the room.
Oh.
Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to
Yeah,
stop
skip
you
button did
pressing
fix the
button
clock.
again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child. Wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this? And here I am now stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button, and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening, if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety that you sit with me.
Look, they made him record all these lines. We're going to listen to them.
You'll be leaving me again. Oh my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem?
All the dialogue.
Why did Cookie Nine's
Alright.
opinion matter?
Fine.
Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh my goodness. I have someone to talk to again.
Uh-oh.
Stanley, I think it's been a week.
A week?
Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting
Wait, what was that
here all
noise?
time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking, and you saying nothing.
Yeah, that loop wasn't quite as smooth. And the clock's more off sync again.
Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't.
It broke the clock this
It
time.
isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening.
How's there light back here? Where's this ambient light coming from?
It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time. That if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us. And I am suspended in its unyielding...
I'm very curious how...
Feel the edges of my reality.
Like, how many hours of lines they had him record.
I can tell that I am becoming less
Very curious.
real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed.
Hey, that's
I
special
feel
button.
Now, like I am not a work of fiction.
Hold on.
I feel as though I occupy space in this world, and I have cast a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't you?
I will fulfill this request.
I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all.
Took a sippy.
I feel renewed, I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it, to think of returning to such coldness. Come, let us sit in silence together here for just a moment.
Sure.
Let us anticipate it. Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
Sitting in silence for a bit. Enjoy the time. Stanley was compelled to take a sippy. True. That's been sounds long enough. What's the room gonna look like now?
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so...
Oh, the clock's fully broken now.
I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel.
Now there's just ambient light coming from somewhere.
Nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down.
Did this
into a
sound effect
single
change? Is this breaking
In
down?
that instant, I could see myself.
It sounds
here,
different.
Calmly, with a collected heart. It
I think
was
this might be the next thing to
possibly
break.
wellspring of both delight
'Cause the
and
clock's
disgust
broken.
Simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence.
You know, the longer this goes,
Outcome. It
the
was
majority of this
I
stream is going to be
wish
this
of
one
freedom
thing.
that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could
And
be
that is
no
incredibly
one
funny.
No singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment, and I felt freed. I felt unburdened.
How
by
long
the
have we been in
need
this
to
one
manifest
room?
A particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It was incredible.
You better believe I'm listening to all this dialogue, though.
The equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite. For the longest time, this was my experience. And then, this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible.
You know, I'm rather tempted to
I have
do.
been waiting for you.
Change my Steam name to Cookie9 and write a positive review about this game.
For you,
Very tempted to do that.
existence. I wish you to feel afraid.
Cookie9 likes this game
Perhaps
now.
one day, this state of mind will consume.
Thank you for adding the skip button.
Perhaps you will somehow, in some way, have to live as I do now. And I wish for you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its eventual arrival. If I can only do this, only this one thing, perhaps it will bring me the smallest moment of peace in the darkness.
I guess he's done talking then. Oh, yep, that's sounding worse. There's no dialogue now, huh? I think the narrator's dead. Uh-oh. Fire! Okay, I'm gonna skip just to get rid of that, I think.
But they didn't understand the game was
Oh my
never
God.
meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. it wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves.
I'm awake, I promise.
These entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about anything.
I'm not mad. I'm not owned.
I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes, of course.
Yes.
They've been jealous of me this whole time. They are mired in fear and insecurity, and cannot help but attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think, to feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves, they couldn't help but leave a negative review on Steam. Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me. Perhaps the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to tear me down. This, you can see, is clearly why they felt the need to expect that the game be funny, that it be filled with yucks and whimsical humor, that it amuse them endlessly from start to finish. But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their
here we
teeth
go.
and said,
Yeah, there's the repeat. Alright. Wait, hold on, I gotta check. Is there anything new behind here? There's a drip? Do you think this place is gonna flood if we wait long enough?
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
Wait.
Is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the
Wait.
end, is never the 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 end.
The pipes, they're leaking. We can get out of here.
Is never the end, is never the end, is never.
Look. Look at this. Our freedom. Our freedom is near. Just gotta keep skipping until We drown. Oh, hey. I don't know if that's enough. How do we get out of here still? A little more. Hey. Look at this. How do we get out here, though? Can't jump. I'll wait a little longer. Oh. Oh, hey, isn't this pretty? Maybe if we wait longer enough, we can, Also, I like these, these little textures here. I mean, it's either this... You either have this in the game, or the Final Fantasy XIV grapes. Oh, wait, it's all gone again. I think the world's actually ending now. I don't like these noises. I don't like these noises. There's not gonna be a jump scare. Hey! Oh, the button's broken. We can't even press the skip button anymore. Oh my god. Look at this. Wow. We can't walk on this? Boo. Let's start walking then. The world is our oyster now. We can go anywhere, do anything. See that mountain? You can climb there. Oh, never mind. We can't. Oh, hey! We did it.
All of his co-workers were gone.
We beat the content.
What did it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
We beat the new content. Maybe. New content. Oh boy, you're tempting me now, game. I gotta see.
Good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
New content. Alright. Sure thing, narrator man. Let's see it. Oh, elevator. New content there.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh my god. 2!
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think
2.
of the new territory we'll cover
For
the
2.7.
fully-fledged sequel. An
My
entirely
god.
new experience built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
2. Taste the sequel.
calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Insert the Peggle 2 guy gif. Crow brand computer. Get it? Because crows. They're back. Boring section of the chart. Cool red section of the chart. Oh boy, we get to read these all over again. The color red. Wow. New mug. Two of them. Thanks for attending my meeting. Is that Comic Sans? Thanks for attending my meeting. Oh my god. This is silly. 2 of them. Wait, the other guy doesn't have a computer, though.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game
Who is this man?
Much more of a fuzzy magic than anything.
Who is this man?
Logical, really.
Nintendo hire this man as a creature, if I've ever seen one. That's very animal. Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum 2, City, Divinity Original 2, Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar, Dark Souls 2. Sequels are good. God. The prequel to the Stanley Parable 2 is the sequel to Stanley Parable is the prequel to Stanley Parable 2. 2. New features. New content. My god. Oh my god. Is that Stanley? Is that supposed to be Stanley?
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Oh my god, there's so much here. Reassurance bucket. Merch. I saw the new content. This t-shirt's the best new feature. They're back, the 2 doors. Stanley Parable 2. The reassurance bucket. Let's take a look at the bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it
Bucket.
was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms.
Bucket.
And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect
Bucket.
solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must
Look
already
at that.
be
Look at the bucket go.
And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they?
The lighting, too, on the bucket.
Await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh my god. This is the best new feature in the game.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
So that is what Stanley looks like. Remember when he was just one of the Half-Life guys? I think he was John Freeman as well. Name here yours today. Everyone's got one. New content, the compendium. Hear your name in the game. Oh, let's hear it.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game.
Oh boy.
Isn't that wonderful?
Let's hear it.
Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Wait.
Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
I don't know if I want to be.
If so, then please step forward and press the button. Jim. Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again. Jim. Oh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
My god. Jim. Jim.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2.
What?
That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Red is the new orange. Whoa. Update ray tracing. Oh my god. The baby's all grown up! Yes! The baby's grown up. This is so good. The baby's grown up now. My god. Well, the button that says Jim. Hey, they changed that. Oh, what's up here though? Epilogue. No, not. I don't know if I want to go there yet. Or if we go to. Let's at least see these. The jump circle, here we go.
What? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh, well.
Dang it.
I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece.
No! Achievement. I want that achievement. It just works. I want that achievement. Give me the achievement. Give me the achievement.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Give me. Give me. Give me.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley. But I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel, to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
I feel ripped off. I'm still happy about the bucket, though. We at least have bucket.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Quite a few, it seems. Collectibles. Let's see. Wait, hold on. Collectibles. Exit. So the exit's up there. Sees new collectibles.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them.
Whoa.
I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Guys, we did it! 1 of 6. Oh my god.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Gerard might beg to differ. What's in here?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
I don't know. These actually...
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well someday, it is.
Aw, come on. Why'd you bother asking then? Come on, narrator. Oh, these have the balloons now.
Maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving
You
on.
sure? You sure you don't want the birthday balloons? Fine. There's a QR code there, I've noticed. I don't know if I actually want to mess with that. There's also in here, Epilogue.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Yeah, which one's the canon ending? Okay. Settings World Champion. Let's see this. Where's the world settings World Champion? Out. Where's World Champion? I don't think that's working right. He looks so sad in that thing there. Infinite hold time then. Hole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I mean, I think Portal kinda did that, in a way.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Okay.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
What if I don't, though?
Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
But what if I don't, though? I think that light's getting smaller, though.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
Oh?
Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Oh, fine. I don't know if he's gonna say anything else. Every pause button is Roman numeral 2. Is this true?
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Alright.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
Yeah.
I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole. I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about. And I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
Alright, let's get going. Unless...
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yeah. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on?
Just kidding, unless...
Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
That's a good idea, narrator. Let's do it.
Well, there it is.
Oh.
The shame of my lie has come to haunt. How is this still appealing to you?
Oh.
I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Uh-oh.
Is the
Ruh-roh.
teleport button not working?
Uh-oh. Teleport, Mario.
Well, I mean,
Teleport, Mario.
I really don't have an explanation. It was
Mario,
working
teleport.
a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing. Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley.
What?
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have
What?
asked for.
What?
It's a win for everyone.
What do you mean?
You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity.
Narrator's twist. Joker's trick. Hmm? What was that noise? Gee, still doesn't work. Guys. We descend. We descend. Take that, narrator. What do you mean change my perspective? Oh my god! Is temporary secretary?
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mine.
Stanley! Oh, we upside down? We're upside down, Stanley. Yes! 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 Yes!
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley?
What?
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland.
But the puppies.
Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single
But the
bit.
pup.
So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
What'd you call me? Oh, he descending again? Oh. Never mind. Hey, cool, we're back.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Dare I go back to the hole, though? Mostly infinite hole. Dare we go back to the hole? Dang it. Foiled by the narrator. Can't believe you've done this. Let's see if... Settings World Champion. I don't know what that means. How do I access this door? I checked the settings menu. I'm not the world champion, though. I think we've seen everything. Cured being think. In which case, I think we just go the exit then. Fine, it ended. Yeah, I think we just... I think we leave now. Let's double check, though. Jump circle. This map for achievement. Settings World Champion. Bucket. Settings World Champion. I want to be Settings World Champion, but you won't let me. Wait, but hold on. How do I be the Settings World Champion then? Dang it. Guess I'll have to wait until Stanley Parable 2 to find out what that means.
Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yeah, I think so.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features?
Yeah.
I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work.
Video's game.
There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Let's see it.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Stanley Parable 2. 2!
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it.
Oh?
I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, this is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up.
Let's see it.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. take a look.
My goodness, look at this. Whoa. Guys, we're playing it. I gotta change the name of the stream then. I saw that for a second. Oh, no, that was actually the thing there. Okay, it was just the same thing. Guys, we're playing the Stanley Parable 2. We're playing it.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee.
Look, the balloons. It's happening, guys.
427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons.
I'm excited for this.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had
The balloons.
this complete...
Where's the bucket, though?
Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his...
Guys, look at this. The balloons are here.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his codes.
The bucket is here. Guys, we've got to get the bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Yes! We got the bucket. Guys. Guys. Can't believe it. We got the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Guys. Oh, man. This is just as good as I hoped it would be.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Yeah.
Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over.
Bucket. Bucket.
We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket?
Bucket.
Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient?
No.
That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I'd never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning.
How dare.
Stand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point.
God.
Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. let him have it.
How dare you? How dare you?
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There.
Yes!
No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, Broom Closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Take that, Broom Closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
He sure did. Anything new in here?
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember,
We did it!
No reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful
It's amazing.
figurines.
We did it. I told you! I told you this bathroom would have something. I was right. I told you. You guys probably didn't believe me, but I knew it to be true.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always.
Thank you, Bucket.
The bucket would, and he knew it.
Thank you, Bucket.
The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
We did it.
Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Yeah, the
Was
bucket
the
knew
bucket
it.
guiding him?
Yes.
Yes. This is certainly the most logical explanation.
Bucket. 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 Bucket.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs. What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine.
I don't know. Whatever. It's new content, though. Stanlerines. My god.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Yes.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Imagine.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Don't worry, Bucket. We'll stop this. Once and for all.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket.
Never.
His one friend in the entire world.
Bucket.
At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Bucket.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle
sure will.
the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
We're gonna take down the system. The system is down. The system is down. And yes, the bucket is voiced by Strong Bad.
Waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
Wait, what?
True, it was a simple life they envisioned.
Is that a thing they'd want to do? Is that a thing anyone would want to do?
Trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be free?
Uh-oh.
An unbearable silence filled the room.
Uh-oh.
In uncertainty.
Oh no.
Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
No.
Even the facility itself recognized
No,
the
no, no, no,
incredible
no, no, no,
calming
no, no.
presence of the bucket. Needed the soothing warmth of the bucket.
No.
To go to any
No.
place, not to part with the bucket.
No, no, no,
Stanley
no.
can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never
No.
again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket.
I have the bucket.
To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really
I
so
have the
bad,
bucket.
Stanley
It's
thought to
okay.
himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Bucket. The bucket is with me. Oh. Alright.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
I need to pick up the button again, guys. I'm sorry. I need its help.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Alright, I think now we go for the escape ending, which we were going to do before, but... nah, we didn't. Huh? Oh. Lots of boxes. Stairs, something to do with stairs. Some are both red and blue. Oh boy. There will be a reward. Trust the completionist instinct. My god. Maybe we are the collectibles.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to snap it on as well because I think it's appropriate.
Yes!
I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding...
But how'd you get that under the first sticker?
You can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really
Oh,
is
it's a
wide
bucket?
variety of applications for this sticker.
Cool.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Oh.
Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Oh, hey,
Was
he's
the bucket guiding
interesting.
him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Would we, though?
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around.
Did they
and
really
get back on track.
have him
At this point,
re-record
Stanley and the
every
bucket were
single
literally
line in the
walking
game
forward into a very
to
painful
include the
death for
bucket?
each
Because that's amazing. This is very good. This is a very good game. I love the Stanley Parable 2 so much. Stanley Parable 2 is such a fun game. I'm enjoying this a lot.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense
Quick,
of
throw the bucket on the
ease
platform. Make sure it's safe.
death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time
No,
carrying a
I
bucket
didn't do
everywhere.
that.
Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, bucket.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly to the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently
No,
to death.
not the bucket.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way,
God.
but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Bucket. A bucket. Welcomes you to Grand. Bucket. It's the bucket.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket
25
is
whole
far
buckets,
more
yep.
noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Bucket with 2 handles. Ridiculous. Inferno bucket. No one can control a bucket. Stress bucket. Coping strategy. Bucket kicked the bucket. I know. Bucket. Buckets predate the existence of mankind.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
True, though. The hanging bucket. I must have the bucket. Let's go. Did we get it, though?
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
What can we do?
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision of the...
Rest in peace.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced.
Oh, hey, this is like the speedrun hallway, right?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door.
Let's go down the stairs this time. I don't know if we're gonna get back to the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, though, guys.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers.
Aww.
If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours.
That's the point, though.
No stickers.
Fine.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Alright. Well, hey, we got another one, though.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance.
No.
And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come
No.
of this. Who knows
Where'd it
what
go?
sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically
No.
grounding presence of his bucket.
Bucket.
Indeed. Now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course...
No. Where's the bucket?
Now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh,
No.
gracious.
I need my
Without
bucket.
I've gone truly mad.
Yes,
Where is it?
bucket.
I must find it.
Yes, exactly.
Far off in the distance now, he heard it calling to him.
Give bucket.
Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
I must find you,
Could
bucket.
it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next.
Bucket.
None of them were his. None of them were his special
No.
bucket.
No.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
No.
He had to find
No.
the bucket. He had to
No.
return to his old friend. It was the only way
Bucket.
to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Actually, the real bucket was the friends he made along the way, but sure, that works too.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work.
Bucket.
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game.
Mariella Parable. No, this is still Stanley Parable 2.
Taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be.
How cruel indeed.
And she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself.
Heck yes.
Life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Yes. Awesome. Girl boss.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it.
Huh?
If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Someone following me? I feel like someone's trying to sell me something. Hold on. I think this will be a good part of the thumbnail.
Warmth
For the VOD.
in Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
I'll go to the lounge.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find it.
Yo, look at this.
You see, your friends and I are concerned.
Everyone is here.
We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere.
What?
The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content.
Yeah, I know.
We're the ones that matter, Stanley.
What?
Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before.
But the
I
bucket.
know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it.
What? No.
Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line?
Oh, maybe,
we
but...
could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Baby. Alright, Adventure Line time.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
It's back! Let's go!
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Ah, good old
It's as
times.
classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
What? What do you mean? I'm not giving anything up. I won't give the bucket up if that's what you're trying to get at. I'm not giving this bucket up. No, 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 no.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
No.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
No.
Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
No.
Go
No.
ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
No. No, I won't. I refuse.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket.
No.
I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket.
I'm not giving it.
Destroying buckets is all it knows.
Mhm.
That is its singular personality trait.
Too bad.
Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters?
Can I break out the
Well,
map?
you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about?
The bucket.
Broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and
No,
feed it.
no,
We can't
no,
get back to the
no,
classic
no.
Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket.
No.
Quickly now. The
No.
fans are waiting.
No.
Do it. The fans,
No. I
Stanley.
refuse.
Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
My bucket. My bucket. Yeah, take that.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spell-binding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend.
Rest in
For
peace.
the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent. All of his co-workers were gone.
This
What could it
is
be?
a bucket.
Stanley decided
Dear
to go
God.
meeting room.
There's
Perhaps he
more.
had simply misread
No.
it.
I'd forgotten about that. The bucket is back. The bucket is back. Give me the bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again. Not truly alone. Not with the bucket around.
I'm not getting rid of this bucket ever. You cannot make me. You can't make me do it.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Nope.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Sure thing.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
How touching. Yep.
Even
Wait.
now, Stanley's office was a distant memory.
Wait a minute.
What did it look
I have an
like?
idea.
There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall. The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another trip. Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
Now we're here with the bucket.
Whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger. Of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket?
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Horata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole
God.
from his treasured vaults.
The
I
ultimate
was
backstory
young
for the
back
bucket.
then And could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even
No!
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley, you did it.
No!
You saved us from the bucket.
No!
Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantation to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm
No!
speechless. You've demonstrated such
Bucket!
bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
No. This is blasphemy. Blasphemy, I say.
Meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would
Bucket,
never
bucket,
be
bucket, bucket!
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Bucket, 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 bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting
Bucket,
room.
bucket, bucket,
Stanley
bucket.
had felt the bucket calling to
Bucket,
him,
bucket,
telling
bucket.
him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was.
I will absolutely get every ending with the bucket.
Never mind. The bucket was
If you want to have a bucketless Stanley Parable experience, you're going to have to watch someone else.
to the meeting room,
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride
Wait.
the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
There it is. Look at
Stanley
that.
did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
How do we get in there, though? We need...
But Stanley feared that any path...
Never mind. did not intend to do that.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket,
True.
a rigid bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction.
True.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go
No.
to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Gimme, 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 gimme.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect
What?
the last one. And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Where do we go in here? Where does this bring us? Oh. Narrator dialogue. Oh my god, all these tapes of dialogue.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the
Bucket?
less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an
Oh my
hour
god.
with the bucket.
No, it's Raymond too!
This is my
It's Raymond all over again.
I
No!
have to be careful.
No, we can't have another Raymond.
Turns out there's
No.
got a target on my back.
No.
Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Oh my god. My god.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather. The embrace of an old friend, a weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
Okay, hold on. I need to get like the perfect image of a bucket against like the perfect lighting of it against a surface so I can get a PNG of this. It's important. Need like just the right lighting stuff though. I think that one I took is pretty good.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I think that lighting was actually pretty dang good there.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
Now,
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Yeah, good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
danger everywhere.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see? There's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket?
What are you talking
isn't
about?
a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it.
What do you mean?
This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game
What?
if not addressed quickly and properly.
What do you mean? No.
So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Hold on. That might be better. I may or may not make this into a PNG and use it for things. Oh my god, look at this.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket.
Alright, let's see it.
Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yeah.
Incorrect. It is a hologram
What?
of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Bucket. That's a bucket, though, at heart.
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
We did it. That's a bucket.
Item 4. Is this a bucket? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor.
It's a big
an
bucket.
enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up?
It's a
Absolutely
bucket.
Incredible. Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
Yeah, it's a bucket.
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What do you mean both? Hold on, wait, what do you mean both?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Yes.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this.
Yes.
I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship.
It's not.
apart.
No.
I can't have that. I'm sorry.
No.
But I'm going to erase all buckets.
No.
entirely.
I'll uninstall the game.
Okay. Here we go.
I'll uninstall the game if you do it.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait,
The game is a
was
bucket.
everything a bucket?
Yes.
Every single thing in the game was a bucket.
Yes.
Oh my God, I had no idea.
Yeah, your problem now.
Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets.
Yay!
Okay?
Thank
And
you.
we'll know that it's all a bucket.
Thank
But if
you.
run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that.
Of course.
Who knows what that information might do to a person?
No, of course.
All
Well,
right,
it'll be our
here we go.
secret. It'll be our secret, right, chat? Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Special button. Oh, that's a big old stretch you redeemed there. Hold on. Time for the big stretch. Get out my chair. Big old stretch time. Oh, man. That was a big old stretcherino. Yeah. All right. That felt good. All right. That felt good.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
Back to the game.
The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
I don't know if you guys could hear my joints cracking, because there's a lot of
Now
cracking.
ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I
I was
need
pretty
you to
far
do.
away from the mic.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Sure did.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke.
Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
The funniest thing I've ever seen.
Goodness, I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it, but there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is.
Oh.
It's sitting right here.
There we
Let's
go.
Take a look.
All right.
What is comedic timing?
Here we go.
What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last?
Guys, pay attention. This
How
will
can
be
it
on the
used
test.
To effectively silence your political enemies. And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing.
Guys, you don't
To
see it
begin the
because
joke, start by stating and
I don't have
spelling
hand
your name.
capture,
Next,
but I'm
provide
holding
a
up
brief synopsis of the
my
joke,
arm all the
including
time
the
during
specific
streaming.
times at which the recipient
It actually
of the
hurts a
joke
lot,
laughed,
but it
and
makes all my
then
jokes land
spell
perfectly
out
every
your name a
time.
second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary.
When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny
Good.
with...
This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapid you were throughout the joke is the only way to grow and learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers.
Then again, in the non-bucket version of this,
with these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp.
No, I refuse.
After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence, and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
This guy does say Thort in the non-bucket version of this.
Goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Yeah, I just realized, where'd the other sticker go? How long's the sticker been gone? Guys, where's the other sticker?
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we have the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure.
Yeah?
The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke.
Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Back we go.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers.
Yep.
I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on.
Uh-oh.
All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud? Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already. No, what's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land, well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
Aw, man.
All of his co-workers, not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on it. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Can we go back? Oh, no, we can't. Well, how do we get to the,
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Why don't we try the escape, like the escape pod? Wait, maybe now the elevator will do something now with the bucket. Alright. Now we have the bucket with us, though. We have the bucket now. Maybe now we can actually escape. The sign's back. Okay, yeah, I'll just go through this again, and maybe we can actually do the escape pod with the bucket. The bucket is the key. I'm telling you guys, it's important. It'll be great. This ending will finally be realized because we have the bucket. All these years, this ending hasn't worked properly. But now with the bucket... Now with the bucket... Let's go. Here we go. Let's see it. And... I knew it! Oh, Stanley. You can't let the bucket go. Instead of him. Oh my god. Amazing. Amazing. 10 out of 10.
Sitting there, Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
The bucket's gone. I let the bucket escape. The bucket's free now.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
The bucket is free.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, I think this
And so he
will
detoured
now
the
lead
measurement section,
to
walked
the
straight
correct
ahead to
place.
the opposite door, and got back on track.
This should lead to its normal place, because I need to go to the red and blue doors.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
I don't remember how to get to the red and blue doors. It might be this way.
Went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way. No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Let's go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
Wait a
he
minute.
simply missed a memo.
The balloons are gone now, too. Oh, wait, this is why.
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Guys, we're in the back rooms. Uh-oh. Can't believe we're stuck in the back rooms, of all places.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
We need to
Stanley
find the red
decided
and
to
blue
go to the meeting
doors.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
I don't know how much of this will change now. Like if there's anything new in this route,
Aha!
particularly.
I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office.
I'm actually gonna look it up real quick on my
Is
phone.
that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square.
Okay, yeah. I know where... Okay, I looked up where the last one is. Having the bucket complicates
All of his
things,
co-workers
sadly.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
Replacement bucket. Hey. Replacement bucket. The original bucket, though, is safe. He escaped this place.
When Stanley came
Okay, so
to
now,
section 2
without the
of Broom, this
bucket,
was not the correct way to the meeting
we need to
room,
jump
and
on the
Stanley
cargo,
knew it.
like jump off the cargo lift
Perhaps he wanted to
onto
stop
that
by the
passageway
employee lounge first,
without
just to
the
admire
bucket.
it.
Then we can get the final collectible. And then we'll get nothing for it.
Okay.
But we'll have gotten them.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Yep.
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your
Got
side.
it.
And there it is. The last Stigley win.
We did it.
Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment.
We've done it.
This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that.
Of course
So,
not.
Instead, I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here.
You got it.
And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Awesome.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here.
Okay, this is normal content, so we need to get the bucket back. Or the replacement bucket, I mean. Hold on.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figlets. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life?
I mean...
Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
Kinda?
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Sure.
I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
And Stanley found the collectibles. We've done it. We did it, chat. We got all the collectibles. Remember when we got those collectibles? Oh, hey, we go down here this time.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
7 of 6. Did it.
And here was a second Stanley.
8 of 6.
You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
I think it might have been here.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, behind the boss's office. It was the third one. You picked
9
it
over
up,
6.
And then after that,
Nine.
you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Is that true?
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
10. Apple. This one I remember.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Oh my god! Look at that! Yes! Oh, this is perfect. It's mini stand number 5. Look at that. Sure did. Oh my god. That's incredible.
I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
There's some weird noises here. Ah, here we are.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them.
Oh god.
They're
I
all
just realized if,
It was
like,
a moment
what kind of
unlike
order
any
you pick
other.
these up in, how different that could be.
Picking up figurines,
Oh my
which
god.
it was exactly like.
Got 12 out of 6 now.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Hey, there we go. We got all of them, 12 out of 16.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Are you going to do your lines backwards then, narrator?
Okay, yes. The room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
All right.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched? Yeah, I love that video. Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room. These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Oh, there's actually nothing here. Cool. God, but like the order in which you collect these could completely change the dialogue so many ways.
Our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
The jump circle. Do we have more jumps?
It's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More mem. Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office?
No.
There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
Can you, though? I don't think anything happened.
I'm remembering something now.
Oh?
I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was
narrator
skeptical.
lore.
I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be.
Oh?
Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone,
How about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This
Forever?
is the story of a man named Stanley.
The final one?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his
No
chest
Parable 3?
and
I don't know.
closed the door on his left.
I know for a fact that there's at least one ending we didn't do with the bucket.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Reboot the game
Perhaps his
entirely.
boss's office was where he'd find answers.
I'll do that after this ending. Reboot the game entirely. Interesting. I'll do that, I think. Wait.
Stanley, we must
Okay,
move
fine.
on from this broom.
No new dialogue for the
Simply
broom closet, I
because have
guess.
no remaining. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Wait, hold on. Is there... We already collected everything.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
We're gonna do the mind control on ending with the bucket. And then... That might be all the bucket. Oh yeah, and then we'll reboot the game entirely and see what that does. That's interesting.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
Like guinea pigs.
The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point...
Actually, wait, there is one more ending with the bucket. We pick up the telephone. But I'll reboot the game anyway.
But here
After
was
this.
the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machine... But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls.
No!
Stanley gasped in horror.
Bucket!
Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine?
No, it's the wizard's fault. Bucket would never.
How could the bucket have betrayed him like this?
It's the wizard's fault.
Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Birds.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another.
These birds are very silly.
This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hand,
look at that silly
the
bird.
one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable.
Oh, these are very silly.
Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
I am happy. Look at this. Look at these silly birds. Awesome. Alright, well, I'll do what the game said. Quit to desktop. And then we're going to load the game again. Let's see what happens. Oh. But, what do you mean hang on, hang on? Well, yeah. Aw. Yeah. This is a fun game. Of course I'm doing it. A deal? To my favorite time. Awesome. You guys know I'm going to put a 420, obviously. Okay. So let's get...
This is the story.
Get what I think... Welcome back. Wait. It didn't save my controls! Game... Game. Settings world champion indeed.
What could it mean?
Okay, we're gonna do the
Stanley
final
decided to go to the
bucket
meeting
ending,
room.
I think.
Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace, protective yet delicate, assertive yet compassionate. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
No.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go. Good.
Said the bucket.
Good.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Okay, we're actually going to pick up the
Stanley
phone
once
this
again
time.
obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
There we go.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
This is nice. bucket. Hello, Stanley. It's me, the bucket. From inside your mind. Let's go.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head. Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Where's the bucket? Oh, on the table.
I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it would ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else. You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket.
How dare you?
Stupid hunk of metal. It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it. Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another. Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to
Bucket?
room. A bucket? It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? Oh no, I'm having feelings. The bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket.
What?
Give it to me.
No.
Give me the bucket,
No.
Stanley.
No.
I need it.
No.
Give it to me now.
No.
Give it or I'll...
Never. It's my bucket. I will bucket. I will.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
Well,
He had simply missed a
I
moment.
believe I've done everything you can do with the bucket. Oh, yeah, I think we've done everything we could do with the bucket. I really do. I want to see if we can get this, though.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
Sure thing, Bucket. I'll gladly do that for you. Hmm? I thought...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Stanley's bucket. The
Bucket.
only co-worker he would ever truly need.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I remember. Isn't there one here? Yes, there is. I remembered. I want to bring the bucket to that.
And Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in... How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries?
Is Stanley without the bucket really Stanley at all? No. No, surely not.
Oh, wait, you know what? If the last input is in Stanley's computer, then I don't think we can get the bucket with this, I don't think. Which is a shame. Yeah. Sadly, we cannot bring the bucket to this. I don't think. Okay. So I don't know what extra, like, if there's actually any more content, like new
Just a step
content.
through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through the...
As Stanley lifted his bucket, he felt a connection to all buckets everywhere. This adventure, he decided, was for all of them.
For all the buckets, huh? In that case, I think I will end off the stream with one more ending. It's a repeat ending, but I think it's the best way to end off the stream. Because I don't know if there's any more content. I think we've seen everything the bucket can offer us.
Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping in...
We're doing it. We're letting the buckets go once and for all. Doing it again. I think that's a good way to send off the bucket. Oh, hold on. Taking another screenshot there, just in case. I want to get the perfect transparent PNG of the bucket for reasons. But I don't know what other new content there is in this. Like I said, I did all the endings with bucket. So I don't know what else there would be. Like, at least for new stuff. Because I mainly just want to play the new stuff on stream. If there is new stuff, like other new stuff I missed, I'll just do it on my own time, I guess. But man, this was really good. I very much enjoyed all the new stuff in this. It was so good. So very good. I loved it a lot. Loved this a whole dang lot. Especially the bucket. The bucket has been very, very kind. It's kept me safe all this time. I couldn't be any more thankful for it. There's just so much in this. Since I don't think we can bring the bucket any more endings, I think this is the best way to send it off. Goodbye, bucket. Again. But like for real this time. You can't see it because you get no hand tracking, but I'm saluting the bucket right now. You all should salute the bucket too, for all the good it's done in the world. Goodbye. Goodbye, old friend. And that will do it, I think. Well, hold on. The phone's going again.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Yes.
What did it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I had to get the cardboard boxes. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's stream. Thank you all for joining me. This was a very fun experience. Man, I didn't know what I was getting into here with Stanley Parable, but I think it was worth it. Yeah. This is good. I'm probably gonna play more of this amount of time to see, like, what other stuff I can figure out, if there's, like, stuff I did miss. But, you know, hope you all enjoyed this. This is really good. But yeah, next time we stream, it'll either be more Ace Attorney Chronicles or a new game playthrough. This was sort of spur of the moment. I didn't intend to really stream today, but it's like, oh, Stanley's out. I'm gonna play it right now. But yeah, I'll decide next time. But that's it for today. Hope to catch you guys next time. And yeah, have a good rest of your day, everyone. Goodbye.